What I am going to tell you in the next few minutes will explain something that nobody ever explained to you correctly. I will tell you why you freeze when you speak English.
Do you know that moment? You understand everything the person is saying. You know the answer. You know what you want to say. But when you open your mouth, nothing comes out. Or it comes out wrong. Or it comes out too late.
And then you just smile. You give a little laugh. You pretend you understood, but inside you feel that pain.
That pain has a name, and it is not a lack of vocabulary.
It is not a lack of grammar.
It is not a lack of practice.
It is the way your brain was trained to process English. And today, we are going to change that.
In this video, we will show you 8 discoveries. Each one will make something click in your head, not in a boring way, in a way that you will feel.
And I must warn you, the last discovery is the one that changes everything. So, stay until the end.
The translation trap.
Look, first I need to tell you something strange. The reason why you freeze in English, it is because your brain is working perfectly.
When you started learning English, someone taught you like this. This word in your native language equals this word in English. This structure equals that structure.
A dictionary inside your head. Automatic translation.
And your brain did exactly what it was designed to do. It created a shortcut, a path in your head that says, when you need English, go through in your native language first.
That path became so automatic that now it happens by itself, even when you do not want it to.
Here's the problem. Every time you translate, you're adding an extra step. Imagine trying to run a race, but before every step, you need to stop and tie your shoes.
That is exactly what translation does to your speaking.
But there's something even deeper happening. When you translate, you're not just slower, you're limiting the quality of what you say.
Because English has rhythms, textures, and expressions that do not have a direct version in your native language.
When you force English into a native language box, it sounds a bit wrong.
The good news is, this path is not permanent. It is a habit, and habits change. The secret of immersion. Everyone hears the advice, go live abroad, immerse yourself in English. There's truth in that, but there's also a huge mistake hidden inside that idea.
The people who lived abroad and became fluent, they didn't become fluent just because they were surrounded by English.
They became fluent because of what that environment forced their brains to do.
Imagine arriving in a new country. You don't speak the language, you need to buy food, you need to take the bus, you need to make friends. Your brain has 2 options: keep trying to translate and fail, or find a way to work directly in the new language.
Survival instinct starts, and the brain responds.
The secret of immersion is not geography.
The secret is pressure, purpose, and repetition.
And all of this can be created where you are right now.
Change the language of your phone to English. This matters more than you think. Every notification, every menu, your brain is processing English.
Put English audio in the background of your life, not of study audio, audio of something you really like, a podcast, a series, a documentary.
And here is discovery number 1. True immersion does not need an airplane ticket. It needs English to become the water where you swim, not a subject that you study.
Discovery 3. Feel the words. I'll ask you to do something now. Think of the word. What came to mind?
If Spanish, for example, is your native language, you probably saw images, feelings, memories, the smell of a kitchen, the sound of a door closing.
Now, think of the word in English, home. What came to mind?
Home seems like a simple word, but the feeling behind it is much deeper. Home is not just a word, it's an experience, not just the translation.
This is the architecture of a vocabulary based on translation, and we need to break it.
Discovery number 2 is this. Words in English need to be felt, not translated.
When you learn the word exhausted, Don't write a translation. Close your eyes. Remember a moment when you felt deeply tired, the weight in your body, the fog in your head.
Let that physical feeling connect directly to the word exhausted.
When you do this, something happens. The next time you feel that way, you don't need your native language. The feeling itself will call the English word.
Discovery number 4. Stop building, start recalling.
Pay attention, because this will change how you see English forever.
Native speakers do not build sentences word by word.
Read that again. Natives do not build sentences word by word.
A native speaker uses chunks of language, blocks, fixed patterns.
When someone says, as a matter of fact, they aren't choosing as, then a, then matter. They use the whole block as one piece.
It's like buying a finished chair instead of building one from zero every time.
Discovery number 3. You do not need more words, you need more chunks.
Expressions like, to be fair, at the end of the day, I see where you're coming from. These are the blocks that fluency is made of.
Start a notebook just for this. Every time you hear a natural expression, write it down. Use it.
Discovery 5. The voice in your head.
There is a voice inside your head. It talks about your life, it plans, it judges.
That voice is speaking in your native language, right?
And that is the point. Your inner monologue is your training ground.
If that voice is always in your native language, you spend every minute practicing your native language. What if it was English?
Discovery number 4. The inner monologue in English is the most powerful practice. It costs $0.
Start simple. Right now, where you are. I am watching a video. The room is quiet. I have my phone in my hand.
Does it sound silly? Too simple?
Yes, and that is exactly why it works. After a few weeks, English sentences will arrive first naturally.
Discovery 6. The music of English.
Music of English, Susan?
There is a layer of English that no book can teach you. It is the music of the language.
The rhythm, the melody, the way some words disappear.
Want to becomes wanna. Going to becomes gonna. Did ya sounds like did ya.
This is not a mistake. This is natural. If your ears are not trained for this, fast English will always sound like a secret code.
Discovery number 5 is a technique called shadowing. You take an audio and you repeat it almost at the same time, half a second behind the speaker, like an echo.
You don't wait for them to finish. You speak with them.
It is difficult, but the results are amazing because when you do shadowing, it is impossible to translate. There is no time.
Discovery 7. The fear of mistakes. We need to be honest. One of the biggest reasons people translate is psychological. It is the fear of making a mistake, the fear of sounding stupid.
This fear causes hesitation, and hesitation is when translation returns.
Discovery 6. Mistakes are not evidence that you are bad at English. They are evidence that you are trying.
In a real conversation, people are not listening to your grammar. They are listening to your ideas.
When you freeze, and it will happen, have these phrases ready. I'm trying to say, the word is escaping me right now. Give me a second, I am thinking.
Natives use these phrases all the time. You are just being human.
Discovery 8. Emotional connection. Language teachers almost never talk about this. Emotion.
A child learns the word hunger when they feel hungry. The word is full of feeling.
But your English, it was learned in a classroom, associated with tests and anxiety.
You need to build emotional associations with English.
When a movie makes you cry, when a song gives you goosebumps, when a book keeps you awake, in those moments, your brain is recording English with emotion.
Choose content that you love, not what seems educational. Choose what moves you. The goal is not to think in English words. The goal is to think in English concepts.
There is a big difference. Thinking in words means the thought is born in your native language and you dress it in English. Thinking in concepts means the thought itself is born in English.
When you understand the weight and the feeling of a word, you are no longer translating, you are inhabiting the language.
English becomes a second way of being.
Your daily plan. Everything we said works, but nothing works unless you do it every day.
Here is your daily architecture. You have the time. Morning, 2 minutes of inner monologue. Describe your room.
During the day, English audio, something you enjoy.
Afternoon, 15 minutes of shadowing.
Night, reflect on your day in English before you go to sleep.
Progress is not a straight line. It's a jump, and those jumps happen after you practice every day.
English is a door, and it opens to more than 1 billion people. Art, science, and connection.
The habit of translation kept you at the door. What you learn today opens it.
See you in the next video.